What's good? It's your boy 2K here. Got some sad news. The legendary Kronk Gym, based out of Detroit, Michigan, stomping grounds for Hall of Fame trainer, the late great Emanuel Steward, burned down this past Saturday night. Now, Emanuel Steward is known for producing upwards of 30 world champions out of this gym. He also produced fighters that went on to win the Olympic gold medal on 3 separate occasions, right? Fighters like Tommy Hearns, who's probably the most popular cat to get his start at Kronk Gym. You got Andy Lee, who's the former WBO middleweight champion. You got Adonis Stevenson, who's the current, WBC light heavyweight champion. You got Gerald McClellan, who reigned motherfucking terror, you know what I'm saying, between middleweight and super middleweight in the late 80s, early 90s. Had some wars with Nigel Benn, John Mugabe, Julian Jackson, etc. Right? He came out of that gym. Gerald McClellan today is more known for being the guy that has been permanently brain damaged due to his fight with Nigel Benn back in February of 1995, right? But he's also a legend to come out of this gym. And you got Lucia Riker. Now, a lot of people don't know who she is because, of course, she's a woman boxer. But she was also a very popular fighter when she was active. So much so that she was cast in the movie $1 Million Baby. Now, $1 Million Baby is a very popular movie. And a lot of motherfuckers didn't know who that chick was that fucked up Hilary Swank at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? That's Lucia Riker. And she was actually fucking motherfuckers up like that when she fought. So that's why she was supposed to have that Mike Tyson-esque type of character in the movie. You know, a bitch that everybody's scared of. So Lucia Riker, I don't know if she's in the Women's Hall of Fame or not. YouTube, let me know. I haven't checked. But she probably should be. She was a very popular fighter, very good fighter. She's also out of the Kronk Gym. And then, of course, you got cats that are more affiliated with Emanuel Steward more than they were the Kronk Gym, like Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, Andre Durrell, etc. Andre Durrell was in and out of there every once in a while. So, you know, just the prestige that Emanuel Steward had, right? And him being the face of Kronk Gym, that prestige, man, it's damn near unmatched in boxing. You know what I'm saying? All right, everybody sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? 2K is about to give y'all a history lesson real quick. The building was built in 1921, named after Detroit City Councilman John Kronk. Now, a lot of cats felt, you know, Kronk Gym was built and spearheaded by Emanuel Steward from the time of its inception. And that's false. Like I said, it was built after a Detroit councilman by the name of John Kronk. And it started off as just a recreational center, right? In the early 1970s, Emanuel Steward came in and headed the boxing program for the recreational center. And that particular year, the year that he came in, he took the boxing program into the Detroit Golden Gloves tournament. And the first year that they got in there was the year that they actually won, the first year that they won anyway. So under Emanuel Steward, that first year, everybody knew he meant business. And over the years, he produced an exorbitant amount of excellent amateur fighters that came out of the Kronk Gym. You know, like I mentioned earlier, Tommy Hearns is a guy that had his start at Kronk Gym. And how popular Tommy Hearns got, he's most likely the reason why Emanuel Steward and Kronk Gym got their name through Tommy Hearns, right? But he was already very popular locally and within the state because of so many amateur fighters he produced, right? But being the face of Kronk Gym, he still wasn't handling the operational affairs of the particular gym, right? The city of Detroit was still paying to keep the gym up, you know, to keep the gym operational. And just like a lot of buildings you see in your local hood, right? The city will eventually turn their back on that building if it becomes too cost heavy to keep that building up. No matter how much good the building has done for the hood, right? The city doesn't give a fuck about that. They're looking at their costs and they're going to be cutting their costs. And that's what happened here. The city became very expensive, or the building became very expensive, right? Became quite too expensive, you know what I'm saying, for the city to keep paying to keep it operational every year, so they turned their back on it. Now, Emanuel Steward came in and said, well, shit, I'll take over, you know what I'm saying, the cost to keep the building operational, just to keep this legendary building afloat. You know what I'm saying? And the city of Detroit was like, cool, you know, do what you gotta do, bro. You know what I mean? But it's gonna cost you about $550K to $1 million annually, meaning every year it will be estimated to be within that range to keep this building operational. That's a pretty hefty ass task, right? That's a lot of money. Emanuel Steward said, cool, I'll take the challenge. And when he did so, Emanuel Steward offered to pay that money out of his fucking pocket. You see what I'm saying? This is just another man, right, that does his due diligence for the hood, for the misinfortuned, right? He wanted to keep this boxing gym up and alive so he can keep helping inner city kids, you know what I'm saying, to come in and have a source, right, so they can stay off the streets. And he did that for years, right? Well, just like any other building in the hood, especially an older building that has some, that's probably made out of some valuable material, right? Vandals broke into the building and stole some copper piping out of the building, which disabled the building to obtain a sufficient water supply. And that right there was an issue with the city, and city ordinance closed the building down. That was in 2006. Now, even with the building closed down and abandoned, right, Emanuel Steward still had a goal to one day repair the building well enough to where the city can approve it to be reopened, and Kronk Gym can still be operational, right? The original Kronk Gym. But in the meantime, he moved the headquarters to a different location and still named it Kronk Gym, right? The problem here is that when he passed in 2012, that building shut down. Now, here's another misconception. When this news broke, a lot of cats were like, yo, I thought Kronk Gym was reopened. You know what I'm saying? They talking about it was an abandoned building that's closed down. The second location was reopened after Emanuel Steward died in 2012 by his daughter in 2015. There's the misconception there. But the original Kronk Gym that closed in 2006, it stayed closed, right? Now, after his daughter reopened the second Kronk Gym in 2015, that she was still going to uphold her father's ultimate goal of repairing Kronk Gym and trying to get it more operational. But then this fire happened. So from what I heard, firefighters went into the building. They tried to fight the fire from the inside, but the building was coming down, you know, from the top on the inside of the building. So they had to get out and they had to fight the fire from the outside. Usually when a building concaves like that due to fire, there's no saving it at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? The building's coming down from the top. It's going to come down, or at least part of the building is going to come down to the point where there really is no saving it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to just demolish the rest of the building, whatever's standing, and then they're going to rebuild on that lot or do whatever they need to do with that lot. So at that point in time, when the firefighters came out of the building and decided to fight the fire from the outside, at that point in time, it was over. You know what I'm saying, for Kronk Gym. So just wanted to get that shit out there, man. It's being a boxing loyalist, a guy that, you know, loves the sport, a guy that highly respects Emanuel Steward, a guy that was upset when we lost a legendary trainer in 2012 too early, right? And then to see what this particular legendary trainer represented to also go down. It's a sad day for me. It should be a sad day for all boxing heads, old and new. Young niggas, if you don't know your history, you know it now. You know what I'm saying? It was a sad day on Saturday. The good news out of all of this is that when the building was shut down in 2006, Emanuel Steward was able to get all of his memorabilia out of the building and put it into the new Kronk Gym. Then when he died in 2012 and that building closed, his daughter went ahead and took all the memorabilia out of that gym and moved it just in case vandals will break in and try to steal that shit. And you see these dumbass niggas on eBay trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? She went ahead and had the go ahead, had the thought to get all that shit out of there, and it ended up being a good decision. So there's not much news on the investigation. The only thing they're saying right now as of late is that they suspect that it was arson for two reasons. One, the building was abandoned, which there aren't any electrical issues going on inside the building, obviously, because it's abandoned, it's not being used, right? And then also within a recent period of time, another building that was considered a landmark in close proximity was also burned down. So they think it's some type of serial arson out there and shit, doing stupid shit. So it is what it is. Hopefully they can find out who the fuck it is, and you know what I'm saying, bring that nigga to justice, bring whoever it is to justice. It is what it is. All right, just wanted to get that out there. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Be real. Let me know what you think about this. This is real talk for real fans. 1.